This is Adam Miller, movies correspondent and associate producer for the RPM Show, here to tell you all you need to know about the latest, the most exciting and anticipated movie of the summer movie season of this year, Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. Now, this is the fourth chapter in the Walt Disney Pirates film franchise, which last we saw in theaters in 2007, with the third chapter entitled At World's End. Now, the film stars that lovable but goofy pirate scallywag Captain Jack Sparrow, who is played by the one and only Johnny Depp. Now, also joining Depp are returning cast members Geoffrey Rush as Barbossa and Kevin McNally as Mr. Gibbs. But joining Jack Sparrow, and of course Johnny Depp, of course, are Penelope Cruz, who plays Angelica, who was actually an old girlfriend of Jack Sparrow from many years before, and who is also related to the film's main villain, that is played by Ian McShane, who is the infamous and evil pirate of all, Blackbeard, a.k.a. Edward Teach for all you history buffs out there. Now, also in the cast are three very amusing cameo appearances, one of which is also a returning member from the last film. That is, of course, Keith Richards, who came to the movie as Jack Sparrow's father, Captain Teague Sparrow, or as I like to call him, Senior Sparrow. But also we have a cameo by Richard Griffiths, who plays King George in the opening 20 minutes. And we also have a rather small and very welcome surprise cameo appearance from none other than Judi Dench, James Bond's own M. And she's in it for like a couple of minutes, but it's a rather very welcome and amusing cameo. So that's who we have to that is who you can expect to see in this movie. Now, the movie itself picks up roughly after At World's End, actually where that movie left off. In which case, Jack finds himself on an adventure to find the infamous Fountain of Youth. Now, he bumps into Angelica, who actually kind of, against Jack Sparrow's will, gets him to join her crew on the infamous Queen Anne's Revenge ship, which is, of course, commandeered by Blackbeard. And, of course, Blackbeard has intentions of his own to find the Fountain of Youth. He wants to live forever, because evidently he's been told of a prophecy that says he will die. But he doesn't want to, because that's his evil sense. He wants to live forever. Now, that is the gist of the whole plot of the movie. It's basically an expedition to find the Fountain of Youth. Now, to the point you've all been waiting for, is this movie worth it or not? Now, I have to say, it is very worth it. Now, as an ongoing fan of the Pirates franchise, I have to say I would put this movie right between the second one and the third one. Now, I thoroughly enjoyed the first one. The first one is probably a groundbreaking film. You know, it really shows that you can make a movie out of a Disney theme park ride, but, you know, that's where it was successful. Now, The Curse of the Black Pearl will still be one of the best one. Dead Man's Chest was actually a very worthy sequel. It was fun. It was rock and roll fun. Now, At World's End. Now this is where a lot of people are divided. Now, a lot of people are very skeptical about At World's End, mostly because of how the plot had you going back and forth, and there was a whole lot of who's betraying who's betraying what, what's going on. There were a lot of heavy-handed, misguided plots. There were a lot of twists thrown in that were really unneeded. It was all overkill. Well, I have to say I wasn't exactly thrilled with that, but I still loved the movie. It was still a good movie regardless. However, here, there's none of that. The story here is very straightforward. There are no, secondary, missed storylines. There are no, stuff that's going to throw you off. It's very straightforward. It's very simple. And that's really what elevates this movie to above the third chapter. Now, as a movie, I would give it a complete 10 out of 10. It was not extraordinary. It was rock and roll fun. This was they really wanted to go back to what made the first movie extraordinary, and I think they've successfully done that here. They've resurrected the characters out of, they really carry on the tradition of being just fun. And it's a lot of good fun, a lot of good humor, a lot of wit, a lot of, suspense. So it's well worth it. In all sense, go see it this weekend. You will not be disappointed. I think it's well worth it. I know I must be repeating myself here, but I really want to get my point across on this one. Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides is a great movie. It's fun, it's witty, it's exactly what the first movie was. It was a surprise to everybody that this could be done. and it really carries on that tradition. It really does. I think what a lot of people were disappointed with the sequels is that it failed to carry on the tradition of the first movie, and instead took the characters through a lot of real plot twists that were really unneeded. So, in essence, it's a great movie, great cinematography, great action, great dialogue, great wits, full a lot of wits, a lot of humor. The humor flies in left and right with Jack Sparrow. You never know where the humor is going to go and what he's going to do. He just, he's a goofball. He does what he does, and you just have to laugh at it. It's got a really great Hans Zimmer score, so go buy the soundtrack. I know I have. So, I want to know what you think. Is Pirates of the Caribbean 4 worth it or not? Now, actually, before I get to that, one quick note. IMAX 3D. Go see it in IMAX 3D. It is probably the best IMAX 3D that I've seen since Tron Legacy. Now, so if you feel like spending a few extra bucks, it's well worth it. But if you don't, well, that's okay. But as I said, I will let you make the call on that. However, I am actually suggesting that you do see it in 3D, because you will get the full experience. You will get probably the experience that you got when you saw Tron Legacy. So that's that. That's my opinion on that matter. Now, back to my original thing. I want to know what you think about this movie. Do you like it or not? Or if you have seen it already, did you like it? And what was your opinion based on that fact? So email me your opinions to adam@therpmshow.com. And of course, you got to check out our website, therpmshow.com. You can check out our links. Link with us on Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, Hub Pages, YouTube, Blueberry. You can download our shows on iTunes, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and of course, friend us on Facebook. So until then, until our next review, or next news story or whatever, the summer movie season is just beginning, so there's a lot more coming out. We will be publishing reviews as quick as we can. So stay with us on the RPM Show, and until we see you next time for another review or news story, we will see you then, and stay tuned.